Nevada, the great silver state and the gold. New tales of Nevada, the stories, people working hard to make a home. Old Tales of Nevada.
Hello everybody, welcome to Old Tales of Nevada, past and present. We have a great show for you today, talking about one of the historic foundations that bring great pride to us here in northern Nevada, and we'll tell you who it is and what they're doing right after this message.
Hey everybody, Dave Asher here down at the Nevada Marketplace in the Reno Town Mall. You know, we all spend a lot of money during the holiday season. Please, this year, shop with Nevada-based locally owned businesses as much as possible. Here at the Nevada Marketplace, we support over 250 local merchants. You're sure to find a perfect gift for everyone on your list. We're open 7 days a week with easy parking, and it's warm inside. We're at the corner of Peckham and Virginia. Go to buynevadafirst.com and keep Reno local.
Hi, I'm Dan.
And I'm Paula. We're the producers of the Tanner's Marketplace Antique Show, now at the Reno Sparks Convention Center.
We also want you to know about our everyday location at Somewhere in Time, Antique Antiques, Space 46.
You'll find items from local artists, retro, mid-century, rustic, sports, collectibles, antiques, and much more.
You'll find Nevada art, glass, Native American jewelry, and baskets, unusual to unique items.
Find it all at Antique Antiques at Somewhere in Time, Dealer 46.
Welcome everybody to Old Tales of Nevada, past and present. I'm John O'Brien, the host of the show. Glad to have you with us this week. Along with me, as usual, Roy Marshall, our executive producer. Roy, welcome to the show this week. You're looking good and colorful as usual.
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
Somebody's got to have some color.
Absolutely. I think we're all kind of colorful.
That's a fancy
That's
tie.
right. That's right. Well, we have an artful type of show today.
Yeah, that's right.
We have the program director from the Sierra Arts Foundation, Tia Flores, and want to make a special welcome to you, Tia.
Yeah.
Glad to have you with us.
Very happy to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, we've been wanting to have you on the show for quite a while because you do so many good things here in Nevada, including the preservation of the Riverside Hotel, which is, in my opinion, was a huge exercise.
That's a big stroke.
And a big benefit to the historical side of Reno, Nevada.
Absolutely.
So we're going to talk about that as we go through the show today. But as usual, for our audience, they know we always start with you, Roy. He's the one that pays the freight for the show every week, and he's been doing it for 10 years, so we always give him the opportunity to tell us why he's doing that. Why are we doing this Old Tales of Nevada, past and present? You, Roy?
Well, the reason why we do this show, as many of you know, that Nevada, many people don't know, is one of the most important states in the United States, because after the Civil War, the country was broke under Abraham Lincoln, and the country would have probably never got off the ground because we owed more than what we were worth to France, Germany, and England, which we probably would have been France, Germany, and England. So due to the Comstock miners' ability to throw $8.5–9 million back at Abraham Lincoln, he had the ability to pay those folks off and start the United States of America. The other real important thing, well, besides many others probably, but this state has a not only major production of gold each year, which is about 10% of the total gold produced each year in the world, but the state also produces about 32 to 40 million ounces of silver per month, and has done so for probably the last 10 years or so.
Yeah, amazing, huh?
So that's a great thing, but then also the dollar was invented in Nevada at the Carson City Mint in the form of a silver dollar, which many of you know.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing that's become very famous.
Very,
is the dollar.
very valuable.
All over the world. If you go abroad, you better take some dollars with you.
And if you have that CC mark on those dollars,
oh, they're worth a lot more.
Yeah, because how valuable can those be? They're
the most valuable.
The most valuable
coins.
I mean, tens of thousands of dollars, right? And what was that dime that was sold? That was over $1 million, wasn't it? Yeah. It's unbelievable. So we have a very important place in history right here in good old Nevada, right?
If you find any good good ones, we have the Marshall Mint in Virginia City.
That's right.
Which got wiped out by water here, but we're putting it together again now.
Yeah, they broke some pipes on that first cold spell, right?
Yeah, sure
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
It's an
hopefully you
old
get that
building now.
get it reopened and
Yep.
start showing people what you have in there, huh?
Yeah, well, they got it open again.
You also have the hotel.
Yeah, we have a hotel there,
Yeah.
Silverland
Inn and Suites. Jim and I
Jim
are.
and John are running it to hopefully our advantage in every way.
That's right.
And we're selling the hotel every day.
We're open for business. No more closing in the wintertime.
There you go.
We got great rates, great rooms, great staff, and you can even get a nice libation there of one sort or another. So what's our reservation number up there?
Yeah,
You're right.
847-4484.
All right, very nice, very good. Well, we want to get back to Tia. Tia, welcome to the show.
Yeah,
Just want to
welcome.
say that
Thank
again. And you are a very interesting person because you not only take care of this great foundation, Sierra Arts Foundation, but you have a lot of other interests, which we'll explore as we go through the show. But we always like to start by getting a little personal history from you. And you're a very unique person because you're a native of Nevada. Tell us how it all started.
Well, actually, I'm a fourth-generation Nevadan. My family came across the Great Plains and they settled in Eureka, Nevada. So my great-grandmother was born up there, and so was my grandmother.
Wow.
And then they migrated down to Ely, Pioche area. My mother was born in Pioche. And then from there, they went down further south, down to Las Vegas, and I was lucky enough to grow up in Las
That's
Vegas.
another place we need to do a show is in Pioche.
Yeah, Pioche,
Oh.
really?
I'm telling you that
that would be
before,
fun,
yeah.
Any
Pioche
place
is-
down there.
yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be good.
I'm ready to go at a moment's notice. Now, Vegas, when you were born, it was probably fairly a small town
Well, I
compared
like
to what
to
I've
tell
seen.
people, I grew up down there when there were more desert tortoises and
Yeah, right.
burros and stuff than casinos.
Yeah.
And the interesting part about that as well is we lived on the north part of the town.
Okay.
And remote area in Jones Street, which is huge now, was a dirt toll road
Dirt
at that
road,
time.
yeah.
And so it's changed a lot.
It's
from when
amazing.
I grew
Every
up.
time you go down there, there's another interchange to the north, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just, yeah.
We make up the coins for them each year.
Yeah, I know you do.
County clerk there.
Yeah, that's wonderful, yeah.
They have a hard time making their mind up. What's put on there?
Yeah. So you made your trek up to Reno when and why?
I moved up to Reno because I wanted to go to school. So UNR had a choice back then. The University of Las Vegas wasn't very old at that time. I believe it started in 1968, and they were still trying to get their footing.
Yeah.
But UNR
choice,
had
good
a great program. I'd always been involved in the arts. I took on that belief that you couldn't make a living as an artist. So I came up to go to school for architecture.
Oh,
and that's how I
architect.
ended up
Well, it
in
lends
Reno.
itself to that, doesn't it? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Did you know you had an artistic flair from a very young age?
I did.
You
I
did?
did. I was very fortunate. I had some wonderful art teachers in high school.
Yeah.
Western Warriors down there. And we actually had the very first resident artist travel from New York City. And we got to paint murals all around the town of Las Vegas. So
How
it was
about
the
that?
very first public art program.
Wonderful.
That was back in, oh my gosh, 77, I guess.
No kidding.
When that happened, yes.
Wow.
Bob
That's great.
Beckman was the artist at that time, who's a very well-known
Beckman,
artist
sure.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, very well-known artist now. But
Yeah.
he was, he was working with us young kids back then.
How about that? Yeah. So what kind of artwork did you do back then? Was it watercolors or oils or doing what you're
Doing
famous
that?
for now?
Actually, I was exposed to a lot of different
Were
things.
you?
I had a tendency to gravitate more to pen and ink, but also made jewelry, all kinds of stuff. My teacher, my mentor at that time, his Walter Jacobson, they ended up, he was the one that designed the school district's logo, and when he passed, they named a school after him
Oh, how about that?
in Las Vegas. So I was very fortunate to have
Yeah.
him as a mentor
Yeah.
as well, and so I really got some
That's very
good
good.
foundation.
Yeah, you and Roy have something in common. He does jewelry too. See, like that right
Oh,
there.
okay, yeah.
He does crown. He used to do crowns, right, for the royalty
No,
over there.
thrones.
Oh, thrones. You used to do
Oh,
thrones,
okay.
which is probably even more intricate.
No, I did. The Shaw had a tremendous collection
Oh, I can
of
imagine.
jewelry. the Emperor of Iran.
Yeah, and you were.
They took that all away from them.
Yeah, they did. They did.
I like beautiful jewelry.
Ayatollah has that now.
There in England, they have the crown jewels too. I'm very friendly with the government in England. They have a beautiful collection too.
Wonderful. So, spent your time up here with the art school, or you did architecture? Yeah.
I did architecture, and like most people, I had a job. I started out at Ardan's catalog showroom right downtown, and
I remember that name, sure.
It was a great place to work. During that time, the Mapes was thriving, and so was the Riverside Hotel was thriving, and so we would have a lot of the artists or entertainers would always come down, and so we'd say entertainers all the time.
Have here?
Living here?
Yeah.
Boy, I don't know. There's so many. There's probably a number of them actually. You would know because you're involved.
Yeah,
with
we've had several people
community.
on for historical architecture, though.
I can't remember now.
Burned and then it was remade out of brick mostly.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was held by Italians. Over there on the other side of town.
Yeah, I know.
By the Highway 40.
Yeah, Highway 40 is famous.
All the way
thoroughfare,
there,
first major thoroughfare through Reno. So anyway, as you became more involved in the community, you evidently got involved with the art community, right?
I did. So I took a little detour. I tell everybody that it was I climbed the corporate ladder only to find out I was on the wrong building. But I ended up getting a part-time job while I was going to school at Valley Bank, which was
Valley Bank.
Good old Valley Bank in Nevada. We were the largest statewide bank.
Yes.
And great organization to work for. And so I really got that understanding, finances and business plan.
That's very unusual, isn't it, to have that creative, artistic mind plus the business mind at the same time?
I have to tell you, it was a blessing in disguise. I may not have known it at the time, but it really helped. As an artist, you're a sole proprietor. You have to have a business sense of what you're doing, and that really helped guide me, especially when I decided to take that leap and become a full-time artist.
Full-time artist,
And
were you a starving artist, or did you jump right into the money?
I think everybody starts off as a starting artist because you have to figure out who your client base is and basically how to market your work. You end up putting more money towards it. But I was really fortunate, and I know we're going to circle back with Sierra Arts, but at that time, Sierra Arts was very, very influential in creating opportunities for emerging artists. And I was very fortunate to participate in their very first Starving Artist show. And then by the third time, I sold a piece for $5,000, which was the most expensive piece they had sold up until that
wonderful.
time.
I
appreciate that.
Yes,
and being that you're your own person, sole proprietor, you get to keep all of that. At least
most of it, you gotta share, but absolutely. So
Wow,
it was great.
I'm going to take up art again, I think, Get my old brush out and see what I can do with it, Hey, listen, we got to take a break here on our show, Old Tales Nevada, Past and Present. But when I come back, we're going to get into your involvement with Sierra Arts Foundation and how you came to be the program director, which is a head honcho, right?
Well, second.
The second?
Yes.
All right, very good.
Yeah.
We'll be back with more Old Tales of Nevada, Past and Present right after this.
Everything is handpicked here at Precision Diamonds. All jewelry is handpicked here at Precision Diamonds.
Come to Precision Diamonds. I'll fix your jewelry just like new.
All of us at Shoeman's Custom Cycle are ready to get you and your Harley ready for the road. From oil and tire changes to high-performance engine upgrades and dyno tuning, we at Shoeman's have got you covered with experienced factory-certified mechanics and a full-service machine shop loaded with parts and accessories. Shoeman's Custom Cycle has been serving Northern Nevada since 1988. So ride on down to Shoeman's Custom Cycle at 275 East 4th Street in downtown Reno.
Shoeman's Custom Cycle, we're the biker's bike shop.
Hi, I'm Dan.
And I'm Paula. We're the producers of the Tanner's Marketplace Antique Show, now at the Reno Sparks Convention Center.
We also want you to know about our everyday location at Somewhere in Time, Antique Antiques, Space 46.
You'll find items from local artists, retro, mid-century, rustic, sports, collectibles, antiques, and much more.
You'll find Nevada art, glass, Native American jewelry, and baskets, unusual to unique items.
Find it all at Antique Antiques at Somewhere in Time, Dealer 46.
Having a piano in the home is the dream of many. What could be a better time to fulfill that dream than right now? It's the holiday season, and Carpenter's Music World wants to help with a special holiday sale on all new and quality pre-owned pianos. Carpenter's has brand names like Yamaha, Buechner, and Steinway, with special financing on all pianos. Make your loved one dreams come true with a new piano from Carpenter's Music World, 1090 Kitsky Lane in Reno. It's the best of the Old West at the 65-room Victorian-style Silverland Inn and Suites in Virginia City. Mountain high and city close, a great place for your next holiday party, seminar, reunion, anniversary, retreat, convention, or wedding. The Silverland has everything you need: ballroom, bar, great rates, service, and more. Only 22 miles from Reno. There is even transportation from Reno to Virginia City available on request. Call 847-4484 today.
We're back here in Old Tales of Nevada, past and present. Glad to have you with us. We're talking with Tia Flores, who is the program director for a great foundation here in town. It's the Era Arts Foundation, which I understand had its origins in 1971. What was the reason for that foundation coming about? Give us the genesis.
Well,
of all
absolutely. What happened is in the late 1960s, early 70s, is a group of artists in the downtown area. So we're also talking the Pioneer, that little area there. They wanted to form a group so they had a cohesive voice to talk about the arts and how the arts could really influence the downtown area. And, pretty much the downtown area was dominated by the casino industry.
Right.
And really wanted to have a voice in working with the city and how to make that more of an appealing artistic place down there.
And more diverse, I suppose.
Absolutely.
Bring all those different facets, notoriety, or
really,
bring them into the realm.
Absolutely. And entertainment was a big thing in Reno. It still is a big thing.
Yeah.
And so, they really wanted that voice.
There was a niche there for it.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And it's turned into a lot of stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Well, a lot of the musicians we use now are from that particular time. So what happened is they came together and they formed Tia Arts Foundation in 1971. So I'm happy to say we're quickly approaching our 50th anniversary.
Unbelievable, yeah.
So it's taken a lot of turns, twists and turns during, with the rise and fall of the economy.
Because you're a nonprofit.
We are a nonprofit organization, and so, we're dependent on funding, grants, and our membership on that.
That's wonderful. Now, there's been a great history of art in Reno, in Northern Nevada.
Yes.
The Latimer, I remember the program we did with the Latimer Art Club, which is rather famous, not only in Nevada, but around the United States
the
as well.
oldest arts organization.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
It is
in
amazing.
little old Reno, Nevada.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, and it was known as a cow town back in the day, right?
Absolutely, yes.
So here we go. So that's great that we're able to, make a legacy of art and culture here in this western town.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you were not the original program director. Who was the mover and shaker? Who was the head person at that time?
Well, actually, we have an executive director, and the executive director at Tia Arts right now is Tracy Oliver. She's also a fourth-generation Renoite, so she's actually
that's
from
very
Reno.
unusual.
Yes,
yeah.
That's quite amazing here. But far back, Jill Berryman was the executive director at that time, and during the major changes that went on at Tia Arts, she was ahead of that at that time. In the different locations. I don't know, a lot of people might know that Tia Arts was originally off Flint and Court Street, where the co-op grocery place is right now. So that's where it started off. That's how I got to know Sierra Arts way back then.
Way back then, yeah. So you've been involved as a member or as a contributor all those years since you've been in Reno?
Yeah, as an emerging artist and definitely a member. With that, Sierra Arts, even at that time, was great in creating opportunities for artists in our community.
Yeah. Now, how many members are part of Sierra Arts Foundation now?
Oh, we have hundreds.
You have hundreds
of members.
Yeah.
We have all different types of membership levels, just like a lot of nonprofit organizations.
Okay.
Our biggest one are artists. We really cater to artists. We really want to be a voice for them to help them pursue their art career. But more importantly, we want to keep those artists in our community. We don't want that talent to leave.
Right.
So we try to figure out ways in which we can support the different artists. And when I'm talking about artists, a lot of people think visual, but I'm also talking about performing artists, literary artists. You know, we work with...
You take
with
it all in, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, you're a separate entity, say, from the Nevada Museum of Art, right?
Yes.
You're all separate nonprofits.
Yes.
But you do collaborate your efforts sometimes, don't you?
You know, I have to say, next to my favorite job, next to hiring artists, is collaborating with other nonprofit and arts organizations within our community, and even non-arts.
Now, why would the Sierra Art Foundation hire an artist? What's the point of that?
Well, one of the things that we do is we have different programming, and that's the part that I oversee. And what we do is we create opportunities through our programming to hire artists at a really good rate, where we'll pay them like $25 to $35 an hour, so that they can go share their talent. We've been in partnership with the Washoe County School District since 1977.
Okay.
That was the next big initiative after Sierra Arts was founded, is to recognize that arts education is really important in our community.
Yeah.
And so we create residencies in the different, especially for kids at risk. We found that,
so they actually go to the school?
Yes.
And they go to the art classes?
Well, no, sad thing, they're not art classes in,
oh, really?
in the schools. Yeah.
That's
so
sad.
It's very sad.
Yeah.
We're hoping to change that, hopefully in the future. But right now what we do is give students that artist experience. One of the programs that we have right now that's very popular is in the state of Nevada, we recognize literacy as a very important issue. And so we have what's called literacy learning through arts integration.
Okay.
So we hire artists in different disciplines. They go into schools, work side by side with that classroom teacher, how to get those kids engaged, how to get them excited about learning.
Wow.
And the arts are really our natural way.
Is that
of
like an
learning.
after-hours exercise?
No,
That's part of their curriculum, huh?
It's we're right in there side by side.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Yeah.
So you have these artists, and they work for you for a certain amount of time, or are you commissioning them for a certain amount of time, and then they go off and
well,
do
our
whatever?
goal, yes. So what we do is depending on our programming and the hours, we always want to make sure that it doesn't interfere with their art hours. So our number one thing is to always make sure that they're still pursuing their art. We want them to be an artist first.
Right.
And then we see how we can
A
support
teacher
them.
later.
Yes.
Yeah.
A teacher
Yeah.
later.
Well, that's really something. And so what have been the results of that kind of an effort? Have you been able to find a Rembrandt out there in the Washoe County School District?
Well, you know, what's really interesting is you find a lot of young kids realizing that, wow, this is if they see a professional artist in their school, they know that that's a possibility.
Yeah.
So right
That's really
there,
true,
you've made that a possibility for
well,
them.
I think that's such a sad thing that these school districts find that they can just throw away is music and art. You know, I think that's what society needs in order to have a good society. You got to have art and culture.
Absolutely.
Right? And so if you don't have music, you don't have art, what do you have? I mean, what is it? What's life all about? Right, you're right. I mean, because you can't do business all the time, right?
No.
Well, you would never think the Texans are much on artistry, but
you are.
A lot of them spend a lot of money on it.
Yeah, well, look at you. Look at you. Look at how
I
you...
haven't been out here for 30, 40 years
now,
though.
But your interest in art probably started down there in Texas.
Away down there.
Yeah, with your family and everything too.
I'm not in charge of that. I'm in charge of education.
Yeah, right. But your family probably collected art down there in Texas, right?
Oh, sure. They had a couple art galleries there too.
So that's great. So we haven't discovered a Rembrandt yet, but maybe a Jones or a
Maybe,
Smith.
yeah. You know, what's interesting is that you'll see them pop up, and they'll you know
we had a good show there in the one in Virginia City. What's
Stephen Saylor. Stephen Saylor.
No, in the hospital, the old town hospital.
Oh, the St. Mary's Cultural Center.
St. Mary's
That's our
Arts and Culture
Center. Which the county took over there.
Yeah.
That's going to become bigger and better up there too.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a great thing. I tell you, my interest in art started in an art class back in the '60s. You know, I was playing with watercolor, and I did I think I still have it actually.
Wow.
A piece of artwork that I did with watercolor. And I said, wow, I actually have a little talent here. You know, it actually looked pretty good. I was like amazed. So my mother kept it all those years, and shortly before she died, she shipped all that stuff to us. So it's in the house there somewhere. I should pull it out and frame it.
What did Bonnie think of it?
Oh, yeah, well, she thought the colors were good, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But because of that one experience, I've often thought if I had the time, if I really wanted to retire and wanted to do something, that I would go back to that because of that little flare of creativity that I displayed on that piece of paper, you know?
Absolutely.
Isn't that something?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And you know, in today's education system, it's one of the few ways that a student can actually bring their voice to the education.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you know,
self-expression.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what we want. And
Yeah.
you know, if you look at the economics today, you know, especially coming into our area, you know, they're looking for creative minds.
Absolutely.
It's a very viewable enterprise.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Art. Very
Absolutely.
viewable
Well, it
enterprise,
spurs a lot of other things too. I've been
Sure.
in the media for years and years, and actually going back to that art class, I think that spurred on the ability to be creative.
Absolutely.
You know? Is that too deep? Anyway, that's why I've been in the media so long, because I enjoy the creativity and problem solving and ideas that you can use in that
You
kind of
left
business.
New Jersey at the right time.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Now it's very regimented in New Jersey. So you've done, I mean, that's just a great program, but you've done some things on the historical side too, in an effort to you know, maintain some of the architecture here in Nevada. And I think that's a fabulous exercise as well. And I want to talk about that. It had to do with the old Riverside Hotel, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. An opportunity came in the late 1990s. The Mapes Hotel had been imploded, and that was, you know, a really sad part for our state, especially in Reno.
Yeah, because you know, the Mapes was the
star.
The star.
Yes.
It was the genesis of all the big name entertainment shows.
Yes, that Sky Room was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was.
How much annual funding do you guys need over there at the Riverside?
At Sierra Arts Foundation.
I mean, the Sierra Arts Foundation.
We usually go from a little over $1 million. On that, on what we function.
Well, listen,
Windsor and the lake.
Let's take a break, and I want to come back and get that story on the Riverside Hotel, because I think that's one of the best things you've ever done as a foundation. So we'll get that story right after this on Old Tales of Nevada, past and present.
For over 30 years, the Book Gallery has been serving its customers with a wide selection of books, comics, and DVDs. They specialize in Western Americana, sci-fi, romance, and general fiction. Be sure to ask about their trade policy. 30 years and going strong, the Book Gallery, 1203 North Rock Boulevard in Sparks.
A proud sponsor of Old Tales of Nevada, past and present.
For our cold winter days, jackets and vests are the perfect answer. Faux fur and faux leather are the strong fabrics for this season. Team them with maxi skirts for a beautiful seasonal look. All of this and so much more at Boutique Elegante. The beautiful fall colors are being duplicated in the fall collection of fashions at Boutique Elegante. Sweaters are either in the crayon colors for fall or soft muted shades in bark and beige. All of this and so much more at Boutique Elegante.
All of us at Shoeman's Custom Cycle are ready to get you and your Harley ready for the road. From oil and tire changes to high-performance engine upgrades and dyno tuning, We at Shoeman's have got you covered with experienced factory-certified mechanics and a full-service machine shop loaded with parts and accessories. Shoeman's Custom Cycle has been serving Northern Nevada since 1988. So ride on down to Shoeman's Custom Cycle at 275 East 4th Street in downtown Reno.
Shoeman's Custom Cycle with a biker's bike shop.
Somewhere in Time is the place to find what will be treasured for all time. It's a huge store filled with trains and models, collectibles, art, antiques, and more. You might say they have everything under the sun. Almost. Come see it to believe it at Somewhere in Time in Reno.
Deluxe Travel, locally owned and operating since 1991, is the home for travel to Mexico and Central and South America. The crew at Deluxe Travel is bilingual, trustworthy, thorough, and caring. They will do everything possible to make your dream vacation the best it can be. Now is the time to book for winter travel, so stop by the office at 100 California Avenue or call 686-7000. You can also check us out on our website at deluxetravelLTD.com.
At Deluxe Travel, we sell dreams. Come in and plan yours.
Welcome back to Old Tales of Nevada, past and present. I just want to reintroduce everybody. I'm John O'Brien, the host of the show. Roy Marshall, our executive director, and our special guest, Tia Flores, who is the program director for the Sierra Arts Foundation. And they just do a great job here in Northern Nevada. It brings us great pride to have foundations like you here.
Thank you.
Where people actually will take some of their money and give it back to the community and do some great things with arts and culture, because the schools, as we just discussed, aren't doing that.
Right.
So you've been at it since 1971, and we really appreciate your efforts.
Most
You've been
definitely.
there as program director for 3.5 years now,
Yes,
so
yes.
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So, but I want to get back to this story about the Riverside Hotel. They had torn down the Mapes, and there was a lot of talk about tearing down the Riverside as well.
Absolutely.
So evidently your group jumped in just at the right time, correct?
Absolutely.
Tell us what happened there.
So what we really wanted to do is we really wanted to see how we could utilize that building and keep it down in that area. You had the old post office,
Yes.
you had the Pioneer Theater,
Yeah.
and then you had the Riverside.
Yeah.
And so one of the ways to do this was to create low-income housing for artists. And because the building needed to be occupied.
Mhm.
There needed to be some kind of income to come into that.
Sure.
And so what we did, Sierra Arts partnered with Art Space,
Okay.
which is a nationwide organization that helps cities, communities, arts organizations in creating studio space, affordable housing for artists. And so we went into partnership with them.
Wow.
And so that they gave us that financial backing
Yeah.
and their expertise in how to make that happen.
Yeah.
And we were able to save one of Reno's jewels.
Yeah, well, that was the beginning of Reno, right?
Absolutely.
The Lakes Crossing was right there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. And it's hard to separate that Virginia Street Bridge and the Riverside.
Yeah.
They
Imagine
go
if that
hand
was
in
gone.
hand.
Imagine if
Yeah.
that was not there.
Yeah.
It
They
wouldn't
would
be
just-
the same.
You know what I really liked about it is I had an antique picture of the Riverside that had the steeple with the flag on top.
Oh, yes.
And I had it back there by the bar, and Cash talked me out of it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I had an antique one of the mates too. He got that one.
He got
too.
that one too?
Yeah, I don't have him
Got to
around
watch out for
anymore.
Cashel, yeah. So, but yeah, very, very historic spot, and it was so wonderful that you were able to save it. Now, you didn't save the whole building. There was
No.
parts of it that were not savable, I guess, right? Or not
Right.
needed.
Right.
So you had that demolished. How many millions of dollars was involved in that
Oh my
refurbishing?
gosh, I can't remember. A lot, but
Millions of dollars, I
Millions
would
of dollars. But we were actually at that time, and we still are. We were the arts organization that really supported Reno in that, and they helped with that as well. I mean, that was a partnership. City of Reno helped us in making that happen, and clearing the way for us to move forward.
Everybody
with that.
thinks of the Riverside as only a casino, but actually that building, when it was first used, was for the divorce industry.
Absolutely.
And we'd have prominent individuals come in and they'd stay there with their families for weeks at a time, sometimes months, to get that divorce,
Yes.
So a lot of history in that building that we didn't want to see go away.
I was there to see pictures of it right at the river. Was there flooding that occurred there much at all? Or,
Yes, there was
day,
flooding. I
yeah.
remember actually, when I was down working at our dams, I have actually pictures from this in 1979 where the river was cresting at that time and coming into that area.
Church. I was in the church when that happened.
Yes.
They come right in the front door, right?
Right, right.
Well, we lost some buildings previous to the current structure. Other buildings either burned or they got flooded out.
Yes.
And they had to rebuild that building. So.
And you know, and kudos to City of Reno. You know, that new beautiful bridge.
Yeah.
You know, that's not a worry so much
because
that debris
moves.
Doesn't catch there anymore. Because that's what actually caused it was all that debris.
All those log jams. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. In fact, now they've developed a floodplain even further down the river so that it will go out into the pasture areas. And just reduce that risk by a great deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They had to tear down that ranch house over there, though,
yeah.
Where the old Minogue used to be.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, remember that ranch house? It's
yes.
a very historic ranch house they tore down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, progress happens, I guess. So
if that's progress.
If that's progress. So you derive income from those lofts, for lack of a better word. There's 35 of them in there, right? 35,
yes.
Artist lofts. And then you have a restaurant that leases space.
Right.
And then you have your offices there, right? So it's being used fully. And then you also have a gallery there.
We do,
okay.
we do. We do have the gallery. It's right off of Virginia Street, the same way you would enter into the lofts.
Okay.
Where you go in there and we have our main gallery. We actually have a couple galleries, annex gallery and the main gallery. And then our offices are just hover up over the top where we can look down into the gallery. It's a very interesting looking space. It's got the old bricks and everything. Very, very nice.
Yeah. Do you give any historical type of tours through the building and let people know what what happened there in the past? Do you get a lot of tourists that walk in there and say, "What is this building?"
We love it when people visit and tourists come in and we're able to talk about the building because we're quite proud that we're able to save that structure.
Yeah.
But yeah, we talk about it.
Was a great deal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, do you do historical tours along the river? Do you have any interest in doing that as far as an art foundation showing people some of the architecture that has endured all these years?
We don't do that, but we do have some of our members that do that.
Oh, okay.
That go out and do that. They'll do mural tours and tours on, on that. So, in the Historical Society, Sharon Honig Bear does that now.
Oh, yeah.
And so
that's great.
So there are some nonprofit organizations that do that because it is a beautiful. I mean, let's admit it. That river is just gorgeous.
It
and
is
the way
beautiful. Yeah.
That it's been cleaned up down there.
Yeah.
And it's just.
Yeah.
And
I would love to
to
see it. Well, they're using it for the. What do they call those boats they use on the river there? Kayaks, yeah. They use it for the kayaks, but people swim in there all the time.
Town, we have Art Town down there, all the stuff at Wingfield Park.
Yeah, it's really neat. It's turning into something like San Antonio, where they took the river and made it a showcase.
Right.
Which
even though it's really sad that the Mapes was, imploded, but you got the Believe sign down there, and that is. I can't tell you because I can see that from my office. How many tourists go there and get their picture taken in front of that?
Is that right?
In front of the river. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Everybody comes.
Do you think they'll ever do anything with that space? Any talk about that kind of thing? Rebuilding in an area there? Or call it the Mapes #2 or?
I don't. I think they really like that can be used for community open space on that. And you see a lot of arts organizations actually utilize that space.
They do.
Anytime there's any kind of demonstration or anything like that, that's where everybody, they go over the bridge and.
That's where it all started, right there.
It is. It's
that
that's
area.
Still the hub.
Yeah, it is the hub. Yeah, people
really
love
nice.
it. Love
it's been really saved beautifully.
Yeah.
Yes.
Byron's house was a
we did a show in Byron Lake's mansion, which he hardly ever lived in, by the way, because they got a divorce and the wife got it.
Which is interesting. You got an arts organization in there.
Yeah,
Arts for All Nevada,
Yeah, and they do a great job teaching art and different things. Now, besides your Riverside Hotel project, you also are involved with the schools, like we mentioned, but you're also taking care of the senior citizens here in Northern Nevada. And I think that's something really to be proud of because it seems like senior care programs are at a minimum.
Absolutely.
And not funded very well. Do you find that to be true?
Yeah. It's a challenge. Even though all of us are heading in that direction, hopefully. Anyway.
I'm already there.
It is. It's hard to get funding for that. We are very fortunate. A little over 18 years ago, we were approached by Susan Mazer and Dallas Smith, very well-known musicians in our community, and they had experienced their own parents being in assisted living and recognizing the isolation of that. And so they would go in and perform, and they decided to come to Sierra Arts and see if we would partner with them, and they would help fund that, and of course we would get other funding, which City of Reno actually helps fund that program as well. And we're able to hire professional musicians. A lot of musicians that started off in the casino industry.
In the casinos, right?
We're able to hire them. They've got that breadth of music, that nice range of music that's very familiar to the residents in these elder care facilities.
Seniors really need art.
They do, absolutely, yeah. Well, you were saying that suicide is one of the big problems with senior care nowadays.
Yes, in Nevada.
It's one of the highest in the nation,
highest, and a lot of it is because of isolation. And so what we try to do is, hit those assisted living places, memory care. That's where we're most
appreciated, huh?
Oh, impactful even in those memory care facilities. So we try to go into those that don't have a budget for activities or anything like that, where we can go in and
help them out.
Yeah, and at the same time utilize that talent, that amazing talent that we have in our community.
Imagine you find some real talent amongst the seniors that probably haven't had an opportunity to be involved with art over many years, but had that talent from younger years. And now they're able to express themselves. So what's that going to do for your psyche?
Exactly.
It's going to, just like we were talking about earlier, to do away with those kind of programs and not make it available is not the right direction to take, as far as I'm concerned.
It's an important charity, and it needs to be tax deductible.
Absolutely. For sure. For sure. So how many of those kinds of programs do you do in a month? How many people are doing that for you, the artists and the musicians and so on?
So we are actually at 11 assisted facilities. We'd love to be in more. But like you said, funding. I have to say we have members that contribute to that as well. We're very grateful for that. But I mean, me personally, I think it would be great if we could be at as many as possible. Reno Sparks, Carson City, any of the outlying.
Wouldn't that be
because
great?
You have these talented musicians in those areas
all over,
that could perform in those places.
Virginia City, we got people up there who have.
But when it's drinking too, they can use one over there.
Well, listen, we got to take a break here before we come back for our last segment of Old Tales of Nevada, past and present. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with you.
For over 30 years, the Book Gallery has been serving its customers with a wide selection of books, comics, and DVDs. They specialize in Western Americana, sci-fi, romance, and general fiction. Be sure to ask about their trade policy. 30 years and going strong, the Book Gallery, 1203 North Rock Boulevard in Sparks.
A proud sponsor of Old Tales of Nevada, past and present.
Everything is handpicked here at Precision Diamonds. All jewelry is handpicked here at Precision Diamonds.
Come to Precision Diamonds. I'll fix your jewelry just like new.
Hey everybody, Dave Asher here down at the Nevada Marketplace in the Reno Town Mall. We all spend a lot of money during the holiday season. Please, this year, shop with Nevada-based locally owned businesses as much as possible. Here at the Nevada Marketplace, we support over 250 local merchants. You're sure to find a perfect gift for everyone on your list. We're open 7 days a week with easy parking, and it's warm inside. We're at the corner of Peckham and Virginia. Go to buynevadafirst.com and keep Reno local.
Somewhere in Time is the place to find what will be treasured for all time. It's a huge store filled with trains and models, collectibles, art, antiques, and more. You might say they have everything under the sun. Almost. Come see it to believe it at Somewhere in Time in Reno. Having a piano in the home is the dream of many. What could be a better time to fulfill that dream than right now? It's the holiday season, and Carpenter's Music World wants to help with a special holiday sale on all new and quality pre-owned pianos. Carpenter's has brand names like Yamaha, Blüthner, and Steinway, with special financing on all pianos. Make your loved one dreams come true with a new piano from Carpenter's Music World, 1090 Kitsky Lane in Reno.
Come to Precision Diamonds. I'll fix your jewelry just like new.
For our cold winter days, jackets and vests are the perfect answer. Faux fur and full leather are the strong fabrics for this season. Team them with maxi skirts for a beautiful seasonal look. All of this and so much more at Boutique Elegante.
It's the best of the Old West at the 65-room Victorian-style Silverland Inn and Suites in Virginia City. Mountain high and city close, a great place for your next holiday party, seminar, reunion, anniversary, retreat, convention, or wedding. The Silverland has everything you need: ballroom, bar, great rates, service, and more. Only 22 miles from Reno. There is even transportation from Reno to Virginia City available on request. Call 847-4484 today.
Deluxe Travel, locally owned and operating since 1991, is the home for travel to Mexico and Central and South America. The crew at Deluxe Travel is bilingual, trustworthy, thorough, and caring. They will do everything possible to make your dream vacation the best it can be. Now is the time to book for winter travel, so stop by the office at 100 California Avenue or call 686-7000. You can also check us out on our website at deluxetravelltd.com.
At Deluxe Travel, we sell dreams. Come in and plan yours.
All right, we're back here on Old Tales of Nevada, past and present. It's our last segment. Man, I always know it's a good show when it goes fast, you know. We have Tia Flores, who is the program director for the great foundation called Sierra Arts Foundation. Been in business here for almost 50 years.
Yes.
And as we have discussed, doing many good, great things for young and old and in between. For the arts and culture here in Northern Nevada. And without arts and culture, you don't have much of a community or a society.
I agree.
And so we absolutely appreciate you, and you bring us great pride to have that foundation functioning for so many years.
Very true.
Now, beyond the Sierra Arts Foundation, you are personally a very accomplished artist yourself, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I am. Very
Tell
good.
us what kind of art you do.
Well, actually, I do. I do pyrography, which is a fancy word for wood burning. So I like to wood burn on. I call them calabasa, but they're gourds. I love natural materials, and so they're one of the very few elements that have been found on every single continent in the world.
No kidding.
And so yeah, that's what
so
I
you
do.
You do that, and well, you said earlier that you sold your first piece for $5,000.
Yeah, one of my first pieces. Well, actually, one of my very first pieces I sold. I was at an art show in California, and I sold to Bo Bridges. And I thought, oh my gosh, okay, this was a good sign.
This is a good thing, yeah.
And then during my time with Sierra Arts, I was able to sell a piece for $5,000.
So you take one of those little solder guns,
Absolutely.
and then you actually work on wood or gourds or whatever it happens to be, and come out with something pretty.
Picture on
yeah, we'll have it on the picture. You have a book. Where's that book?
Right here.
Oh yeah, show me that. This is Women in Arts.
Women Artists of the Great Basin.
Women Artists of the Great Basin, which can be found on Amazon.
And at the Sundance Bookstore.
Sundance Bookstore. So if you want to see what Tia does, take a look. There's some gorgeous stuff in here, actually. So, and you can buy this for how much? What is it? $49.95. This would be great on your coffee table,
Absolutely.
right?
And some great women artists in there.
There is. How many would you say prominent women artists are there in Nevada? Do you know
in
of?
Nevada? Well, these are three-dimensional artists, and there's 32 in there.
32.
And I have to say, there's a lot of female artists.
There
It's challenging as a female artist to get your name out there.
It is.
Oh, when I first started, I used my initials instead of my first name.
Why would that be? It would seem. Why would there be any prejudice regarding that?
It's amazing because women are perceived as doing craft and men do art. I think that's starting to change.
Yeah.
And most of my artwork you'll see is mostly men are drawn to my art pieces because they mostly deal with Nevada, you know, creatures and stuff like that. And so most of my artwork goes to men.
Yeah, as we're talking, hopefully we'll be showing this on the screen when we finish our show. We do a lot of B-roll on this show. So besides you doing that for yourself and your own income, you give back too as a personal individual. And you take your skills and share it with other people and other places in the world, right?
Yes.
Tell us about your work, giving back what you know and what you do.
Well, I was very fortunate. A friend of mine who's a dance anthropologist and had been working in South America in the Amazon. She was working in this remote river village that's called Ayacucho, and she was helping them build an elementary school. And they wanted to build a high school, but the government said there had to be some kind of sustainable income. And so she asked if I would be willing to come work with the women there to create a sustainable income. And so I did. So my first trip to the Amazon rainforest, this is the Peruvian side, was in June of 2018. Went there for a couple weeks. It was during the summertime, so the water was rather low.
Oh, okay. That's winter for us, right?
Yes.
No,
we're the
it's
same.
summer for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was just, it was a life changer for me. It was just, you know, it takes about 3 days to get there, to get from Reno, and then once you get into Iquitos, and the only way to get to Iquitos is either by plane or boat.
Wow.
Then you get on a boat, and you go up the Amazon against the current for about 4 hours before we get to this.
You see alligators and
yeah, they're
the
called
anaconda
caiman.
snakes. And
Oh
all.
yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, I got lots of pictures of snakes and caimans and all kinds of
Yeah,
stuff.
I imagine you had to take all kinds of shots.
Actually,
to go.
in this remote area, no.
No.
You do get eaten alive by mosquitoes.
Yeah.
I'll admit that.
Yeah.
But in that remote area, no. There's nothing there.
Yeah. So here's that village.
Yeah.
Did they have electricity and stuff like that? No.
So you're off the grid.
You're off the
You're
grid.
completely off the grid there.
Wow.
At the lodge that we stay at, they're also off the grid, but they have a generator that they run for a couple hours a day.
Yeah.
So if you want to charge up anything,
Sure.
you can charge like your camera or
Very
something.
poor, I would imagine. Very poor.
Very poor. They live off the land. The land is what feeds them. Lots of fish.
Wow.
I've never seen so many catfish, different types of catfish in my life.
Well, how big a colony is it?
There's about 200 people
200
that
people.
live in that.
And they've been there
riverbank.
for eons. I get, not eons,
What's the
but
name of it again?
Ayacucho Village.
Oh, that's right.
Ayacucho Village?
So what happened is in the 1880s, when the Spaniards went and conquered Peru in that area for the rubber, they actually killed or incarcerated or enslaved the Peruvian people, and a lot of them fled into the Amazon. So there's only a few generations of them that are actually in that particular where,
and they're
where
happy.
I go
They're
in.
happy there.
That's all they know.
That's all they know.
That
Yeah.
you know, that's what they know, and part of the thing is we're helping to educate, so that when they do go back to the mainland, let's say Iquitos or Lima, that they'll have some kind of education where they can have.
That's amazing. So you go in there and you teach them how to do your kind of art or any kind of art that
Well, here's the cool thing about it is that they have gourds that grow wild on trees, where here they grow on bushes, and they grow dark. So ours grow in a light brown, theirs grow like almost a black.
Yeah.
So you carve the design onto it as opposed to burning.
Okay.
Burning the design.
So when you say gourd, and I always think about like a vegetable.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
part
but,
of the-
That's what it is.
but it's a hard skin. It must be a very hard
It
skin.
is, and the interesting thing about it, it predates pottery. So it's the oldest utensil known to man, and it's found in every single culture.
Yeah, you
and
find it in the
continent.
Bible. They talk about
Yes,
gourd, the gourd
absolutely.
plants.
Interesting point. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that something? So and how big they come in different sizes or what?
They're little round ones that grow on the gourd. I mean, I have some that I've gotten here.
Yeah.
They're called bushel gourds that I've been able to do.
Where do you find them? I mean, do you have to order them special or?
You do, because I like them real thick because I like to carve into them.
Okay.
They grow wild everywhere.
They
They
do.
grow in Nevada. I remember when we used to go 93 from Vegas up to Pioche. You'd see them growing off the side of the road. On that.
You find them. I never noticed it myself. See, it's just like he goes up to the Comstock and he'll kick up gold, and I'd walk right by it because I don't know what I'm looking at. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty cool. So they get these gourds. Now, what kind of art do they put on them?
So
Anything
they
want
carve
to?
designs. I show them how to do that and how to carve design. So what we try to do is with the couple different lodges out there, when people come to visit the Amazon, the tourists, that we gear them towards them so that they can sell their wares, the women can.
Really?
And so this last trip, I went back in March of 2019. And this time I didn't realize it, but the entire village was underwater. The only thing that wasn't underwater was the women's hut that we had helped build. That we helped. So everybody would congregate there.
Oh my.
And so everything was underwater at that time. What was really nice is that we were able to bring all the people from the village to work on the craft. This time I taught them how to do bracelets and stuff.
Okay.
And then I brought bracelets back. I'm doing a show at Sierra Arts in February, and we're going to sell the work there from the women.
Do they have money down there, or do they trade for things?
Yeah, they have money down there.
But how many tourists do they get? I mean,
well, what's interesting, we stay at this one lodge, and we're usually there. My first trip was 2 weeks. This last trip was 3 weeks. I go back again in March. I'm going back 2 weeks this next time. And, you know, people from all over the world you meet come through there. They're usually there 2 or 3 days.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's
amazing.
That's a long time in the Amazon because, you know.
Because of all the stuff.
Because of all the stuff. But, you know, we're working in that village every day.
Yeah.
And so, you know, so we try to stay there as long as possible to work with them.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So I'm just thinking.
I told my dad, don't send me to the Amazon.
Yeah, don't go to the Amazon.
Yeah. Down there.
Yeah, they got big mosquitoes down there.
Oh, yes.
Too, yeah.
And then what do they eat? Oh, you say fish and stuff like that.
They eat a lot of fish.
A lot of fish. Well, I guess they're pretty healthy then.
Yeah, and they're farming. The sad part is they had record flood this last time.
Oh, okay.
So all their crops were underwater.
Oh.
That was the sad part. But the nice thing is they did have a craft that they could sell to help get rice and beans.
Okay.
That they
now, do you? Well, you said you brought some of the bracelets up from the village. Do they export to other places?
Not yet.
Not yet. They're not big enough yet.
Yeah, we just started this.
Oh, okay.
We're just in our second year.
And they're doing some good things with their monies.
Yes.
They're building schools and better
right.
residences.
And when I say, I mean, it's just a little river village. I mean, it's, well, not little, but it's, you know.
Wow.
It's remote, very remote.
Yeah, well, you're an amazing person. I mean, you got a full plate of things to do every day, I'm sure. But we do appreciate you doing what you're doing with the foundation and all the other ladies and men too. Right?
Absolutely, yes.
They're all involved, both prominent and not so prominent, I suppose, right?
Well, and we're there for those emerging artists.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So if somebody wants to donate to the cause, they can go to your website, I suppose, right?
SierraArts.org.
Okay,
yes,
and if they want to talk to you personally, that's possible, I suppose?
Absolutely,
yeah?
yes.
Okay, very good.
It's really needed because the kids are real unhappy in school.
Oh, they are.
We need to get focused.
We need to draw them out and make them think more positively. So, Tia, thank you so much for being with us. You're right. Thank you for bringing the show to us every week with your contributions, and we want to thank our audience most especially because you make it important for us to be here every week, and we want to invite you back next week for another episode of Old Tales Nevada Past and Present. In the meantime, for Tia, for you, Roy, for myself, John O'Brien, have a great Nevada day. We'll see you next week.
Under blue Nevada sky, with a hot sun in his eye, Hugh Roy walked the elk and wild horse trail. Studied earth and sand, with a shovel in his hand, struck bonanza, gold and silver, platinum ore. Was an old miner's code for good luck to name the strike, so we called it the martial law.